Hello everybody, it's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. And it's time for Bite-Size Leeds, the long-awaited return of Bite-Size Leeds. All the latest goings on in the wonderful world of Leeds United Football Club, guys. Transfer news, news about Leeds in general, it's all going to be coming on the channel over the course of this summer, of course. It's probably, easily one of Leeds United's biggest transfer windows, because we can't have what happened last season happening again. We just simply can't. So we need to bring in some bodies urgently. We've already signed one in Brendan Aronson, which is a really encouraging and exciting signing, but we need more. We need more depth, and I do believe that the board will learn from what happened last season. They simply have to, otherwise we will go down next season. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, let's get into this morning's transfer news then. But just before I do, smash that like button. Please subscribe and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And let's get into it. So then, guys, up first, it's probably the main talking point amongst Leeds fans at the minute. It is Raphinha, who, let's be honest, since like January, February time, has been linked with a move away from Leeds United to Barcelona. Deco, his agent, has been in constant communication with them, as I said, since like February time. They thought they could get him for about £40 million, which is laughable. That's probably the amount I'd pay for his right leg. But obviously now, over the last few days, there's been a massive update from Barcelona, really, which pretty much suggests that they may not be able to sign anyone in this window, let alone Raphinha, as I think they were expected to get quite a bit of money from a TV deal. Obviously, I aren't aware of the full ins and outs of it, but they were supposed to get a big payout from a TV deal that has now collapsed and is not happening. So unless they sell their prized assets, they will be unable to make any signings, which has obviously given Leeds United a boost, because it's looking more likely that we could keep Raphinha now. He has got 2 years left on his contract. I don't think he would be the sort of player to do a Berahino, where he's like trying to force a move through, or anything like that. He has still got 2 years left. I think he would be respectful of that, and I don't think he'd disrespect Leeds United. You could tell in the celebrations at Brentford that he does care about Leeds, and I think push comes to shove, he would stay at Leeds if he inevitably has to. But that being said, if Barcelona can't sign him, I'm sure there's going to be other top outfits from across Europe that would be interested in his signature. The likes of Liverpool, who have already been linked a little bit like last summer, I think. Can't see him going to Liverpool, if I'm honest. I know Sadio Mane is leaving, which, could be a little indicator that they may go in for Raphinha, but no disrespect to Raphinha, but I think Liverpool might go for a bit higher calibre of player, because I do think if Raphinha went there, he would not be playing week in, week out. It's a World Cup year. I know everyone keeps saying it, but it is a factor. It's a World Cup year. Players are going to want minutes, so it will certainly be interesting to see what happens with that. But encouraging for Leeds that we could keep Raphinha. I'll just check my notes for the next little bit of news. So yeah, Jack Harrison, a player who I didn't expect to get a lot of interest, and again, no disrespect to Jack Harrison, but it's such a weird one because his numbers are quite good from the season just gone. Like, he scored 10 goals and provided 2 assists, which, yeah, the assists are a little bit low, which he could improve on. But, you know, he scored 10 goals. But, obviously, I know from being at Ellen Road, you know, week in, week out, that Harrison's performances have been very hit and miss this season. The numbers don't suggest how he's actually performed, in my opinion. Which again is frustrating because there is definitely a player in there. He is really good, like really good. His first touch is unbelievable. Harrison's one of those players though that in a game, if he makes a bad touch early on, you just know he's going to have a bad game. He's a very much a confidence-based player. You see it sometimes if he plays a pass that fails or if he shoots and it fails. He's always looking up into the sky, and like he always does that thing where you just know that he's not having a good day. But when he's on it, he really is on it, and he's a really top player. Obviously, Everton and Newcastle are apparently keen on his signature. It'll be interesting to see if he does leave because, you know, it's well known that Marsh is going to want to play this narrow system. Is that going to jeopardise his place in our team? Maybe so. We signed him for about £11 million last season. I think he signed, was it a 3 or 4 year deal, and he's only a year into his permanent. I think we forget that obviously for the first 3 seasons he was on loan at Leeds, but now he's actually a permanent signing for only a year. So I think they'd have to pay about £25 million payout, which is Jack Harrison worth 25 million quid? Maybe to a Newcastle who can afford to maybe take that risk. You know, they bought Chris Wood for 25 million, so. I personally don't think he's worth 25 million. I would like to see Harrison stay because I think even in the inverted system, I think he can cause a bit of damage even if it is off of the bench. We need to think of depth. I think Harrison would want to stay. You know, he's played at Leeds for 4 seasons now. Almost part of furniture a little bit is Harrison. So who knows where his future lies, but I just thought I'd touch upon that because, you know, Everton, he might have the little thing with Lampard from when he played at New York City. Newcastle, they might lure him in with the possible chance of breaking into Europe next season because that's what they'll be aiming for, isn't it, with the cash that they will be spending. So who knows where his priorities are lying. Up next then is a player called Lewis O'Brien from Huddersfield. Just want to say to all you dog botherers out there, ha, you did not go up. Leeds are still the number 1 team in Yorkshire, 100%. Leeds have stayed up, Derby have got relegated, Huddersfield have stayed down, Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday have both ballsed it up in playoffs. So all in all, it wasn't a bad season really, was it? But joking aside, I did watch them against Forest yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, God. Losing track of my days here. On Sunday, and Lewis O'Brien played really well. Very good midfielder, really good technique on ball, good technician, good passer of the ball, energetic, always looking to get forward, quite quick as well for a number 10. I think he could play at 6, at 8 or at 10 if I'm being honest with you. He is someone that we've been linked with, but apparently Leeds are going to trigger his £10 million release clause, which for 10 million quid, the fact that they've stayed down is a bargain. I would be all over Lewis O'Brien. I'd have him in an heartbeat. You know, him, Brendan Aronson. God, I've got Brendan Johnson on the mind because he's a player that if Forest hadn't have won on Sunday, I'd take Brendan Johnson in an heartbeat, but that's another story. Lewis O'Brien, as I said, we've been linked with him before. The interest has been there for a while now. I think Marsh is really interested as well, and as I said, for 10 million quid, that is an absolute bargain. I would be all over that. And finally, I'm going to touch upon Tyler Adams, an American CDM who's currently playing at RB Leipzig. Now, this is a weird one because there's 2 ways to look at this, in my opinion. I think if If we're signing him as a replacement for Calvin, if Calvin is to leave for Man City, as you know, the rumours are flying about that one, I personally don't believe he will. But if we're going to go down that route of believing that, I think Tyler Adams would be a great addition if it was the 4-2-2-2 and it was the double pivot. Because I don't think, like for example, if he was partnering Calvin, if Calvin stayed, Calvin's the better technician on ball, better ball control, he's a better passer of the ball, but Tyler Adams is more of like an interceptor, breaks up play, cancels out the opposition counter attacks. Decent passer of a ball, but not as great as Phillips. So there's two ways to look at it. If we're getting him to replace Phillips, then I'd be looking at getting another one in as a backup as well. But if we're getting him to partner Calvin, I think that could be a really good dynamic. You know, another American in our ranks, Brendan Aronson, Marsh, Tyler Adams. But joking aside about this American thing, Brendan Aronson looks a top player. Tyler Adams looks like he'd be a decent addition, and apparently his fee is really affordable. So again, there's interest there. There's been interest there for a short while, I think, as well. Let's go in and let's get our business done early. I think that would be an amazing addition. So that brings us to the end of this instalment of Bite-Size Leeds, people. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'm glad it's back. More things to talk about, transfer news, general news about Leeds United. Make sure that you tune in, and I will be back tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock with another instalment of Bite-Size Leeds. I'll try and get them out most days. It might not be every day, but I will try and get content out as much as possible. I want to keep growing this channel into something that I can be really proud of. I'm proud of it at the moment. I would like to get more members, so if you haven't already, please go and check out the membership that's available on Chatting Leeds. It's £1.99 a month, so if you can afford to do it, it would be amazing for you to show support. Smash that like button if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you're brand new, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.